had a big weekend of professional wrestling taking place over in L.A., Los Angeles, as they call them, the Beverly Hillbillies. And we had two major PLEs, first of which I forgot, by the way, that L.A. is in a different time zone. And I remember when I was in L.A. myself, and I was there on a Monday, and we turned on the hotel TV, and it was broad fucking daylight, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and Raw was on. And I was like, what the fuck? What time is it? And they're like, oh, it's 5. And I said, oh, shit, we're on West Coast time. I forgot. And then it dawned on me in that moment. This is how the whole West Coast has been living since, like, the Attitude Era. Y'all always been getting these events dead smack in the middle of the afternoon. That's crazy. I would fuck my whole head up. If I was from L.A. and I was all of a sudden in New York, I'm like, yo, throw on Raw. I was like, nigga, it's not 8 o'clock. We're 8 o'clock.
Now imagine that shit before TiVo.
Oh.
If you a fan, you can never watch that shit.
Throws you completely off. Completely off.
No, I think it doesn't play like that. It delays.
Oh.
I don't know if they always delayed it, but I know before they went to Netflix, there was a delay. So once it ended here, it would then play over there.
Well, no, because when it played where I was at 5 o'clock, it was on the air at 8 o'clock in New York.
Yeah, but it's Netflix.
No. This was before Netflix. This is when it was still on USA. This was last summer.
Oh, that's crazy work.
Yeah, it wasn't on Netflix. It was last summer, summer vacation.
Yeah.
Well, that fact played into quite a hilarious situation because for us on the East Coast here, Worlds Collide started on YouTube at 3 p.m., which means that if you were in Los Angeles, you were in the building around noon. And that is an amazing time to go to a fucking wrestling show, I gotta tell you. But AAA was on the air live on YouTube, and the first thing that stood out to me, and I want you to comment on this because I have a Spanish-speaking wife, you have a Spanish-speaking wife, and the minute I turned it on to the YouTube, everything we were hearing was in fucking Spanish. And despite the fact that I don't know the language like that, I had a fond appreciation for that.
I loved it. It was my favorite part that they did not. Some people mixed.
Yeah, Spanglish. They were going back and forth.
Spoke Spanglish, but it was. I think those people that did it do it naturally.
Yes,
because it wasn't like a thing like, oh, let me fill some English in here. No. It was like I felt like I was at my grandma's house and they were having a party, and then you just hear everyone speaking Spanish, but then there's like a conversation over here where they're like going in and out of it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's very natural. They're not doing it deliberately. That's just the way their brain is talking. And I loved it. I was like, dude, I love that this is just predominantly Spanish. We're not catering to anybody here.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. They added the subtitles on the bottom for people like me who are having trouble following. And whether you were a WWE star or an NXT star, if you're fluent in Spanish, you were able to use your Spanish. Even Chad Gable with the gracias. Everybody got into it. Everybody got into the goddamn spirit.
And it brings me to a point for match 3.
Spoilers.
So I like that you said this. When we get to match 3, I'm gonna make mention to it. But what you're talking about is one of the things that made me really enjoy it, and I saw so much fucking potential just from the way that they did it.
Okay, all right, hold on to that. One added little feature as well that I thought was really cool about the actual production of the actual show is they introduced a new backstage interviewer. Now, she's not a full-time member of the WWE. I don't even think she's a full-time member of AAA. But it was wonderful to see Vero. Oh, I had it in my head. Vero Rodriguez. There it is. Boom. Thank you. Vero Rodriguez. She spoke fluent Spanish while interviewing. I mean, that's her first language. But I'm saying on the program, she's interviewing the talent in Spanish. They're responding to her in Spanish. And then when she was done with the conversation, she turned to the camera and did it in both. She would do it in Spanish and then kind of translate a little bit of the tone of the interview into English, and then she'd pitch it back to the desk. And my wife goes, "That was interesting. Who's that?" And I said, "Oh,
she did it. She did it fluently on both sides.
Yes.
So when she started speaking English, for a moment, I didn't even know she could speak Spanish. And then she started speaking Spanish. I'm like, oh shit, is she like from there? Like she really talks that shit.
She's Brazilian.
I don't know how she did it.
She's Brazilian, and
which is even crazier because they don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. And that's Finn Balor's wife.
Why did she... Okay.
There you go. So for all
I'm not gonna be rude.
For all you gay boys, y'all know your heart is broken. But he's got his ass
all the gay,
fine.
All the gay boys.
Because remember WWE was trying to slide into the idea that people thought he was gay for real. Like they would.
Oh well, if that's
they would
his
try.
wife,
Yeah,
that boy ain't gay.
That boy ain't gay.
She an all woman.
Yes. There's not a gay bone in him. As a matter of fact, he's been putting his Irish bone in her.
That's it.
So, yeah. I think all around production-wise, first of all, the staging, everything looked great. I was surprised by the respect factor of the Mexican wrestling traditions that were brought to the programming. I like the fact that the roster from AAA came in and basically treated it it was almost like a WrestleMania to them. They brought out their finest attire, their great gear. Everyone looked so good. And we're going to go into the first match because I noticed something immediately. And I thought, when I first saw it, I thought it was a bad thing. I was like, oh no, here we go. This is not good. My wife's like, what? I was like, oh no, this is not good. This is going to be a fluid thing throughout the show. And what I saw immediately was when they opened it with a 6-man tag, which was Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana, and the Latino World Order, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Lince Dorado. I said to myself, okay, they're opening with a 6-man. That's kind of traditional Lucha Libre style match. They're just going to hit us with the Lucha Libre right out of the gun, right? That's what they're going to do. They're just going to whatever. All right, makes sense. Let's get it all out there, right? And then the match started, and this would be a trend throughout every match. I'm going to really get into this in the main event. But every match started slow. They paced, right? For a AAA match, these matches started at a relatively kind of medium pace. They took their time.
I'm going to argue that with you.
Okay. For which match? This one in particular?
No. Across the board.
Okay, all right.
Because I like exactly what you said.
Okay, go ahead.
And we're going to kind of piece it together as we go. But I'm going to agree with you because of and I'm going to say that because of the perspective of Mexican wrestling in general. It's like a go, 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 go type of wrestling style.
Right.
And I love that. Please help me with names because I don't remember all the names to everything. But the announcer, the other announcer, the
ones who were doing it in English?
Announcers.
Yeah, Corey Graves and Conan.
Yes. And who?
Corey Graves, and then Conan was the other one.
Conan. So Conan, at the very beginning, this was like, I just want to let you guys know that Mexican wrestling is different.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's awesome. That was, first of all, he was on fire the whole fucking night. But I was like,
we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one. But go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. I can see why you disliked it, but I like what he did. But anyway, I like that he pointed that right away. It just set the tone for me. Especially, and this is coming from someone who doesn't watch wrestling from Mexico a lot.
Right, exactly.
So I'm just giving you like that perspective. It set the tone for me because I thought it was going to be like go, 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 go as well. And it was I think this started pretty quick. Like they had a good speed relative to the WWE because the cool thing about this is, yes, it's AAA, but the production, I felt like I was watching WWE. Like I felt like I was watching a Raw or something like that. But then you see all these different gimmicks and the different types of wrestlers. So I'm kind of glad he said that because it set the tone for me.
Right.
But I thought the pacing was actually pretty quick to the point by the time we got to the end and it was ramping up. I'm like, ooh, this is going to be, I wanted to, the question that came to my head was like, is this sustainable? like it feels fun and exciting because from my perspective, I haven't seen this or much of it at all. But then I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, can I see this am I still going to be excited to see this every month, every 2 months, however they decide to do it? Like, is it still going to be fun to watch down the line? I don't know. Because some of the stuff that they do is, and as you go through the match, you'll see there's like always a dive to the outside and it's kind of repetitive to some of that stuff.
Yes.
But yeah,
that's why I don't watch it all the time. Yes.
Right. Which I agree with you with the pacing. It might be slower than what I thought, but I did think it was very fast.
Well, I was going to let me break it down for you. Right. So in the beginning of these matches, started with the first match and then it got increasingly more obvious to me, but as soon as they started the match, I looked at my wife and said, fuck, they had agents. That was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, oh, fuck, they got agents. That's what happened. An agent is a gentleman who sits in the back and sits down with the guys who are in the match, and they pitch him ideas of what they want to do, and then he formats when and where they're going to do it. So that means that somebody sat down with them and said, here's what we're going to do. Yes, we have a 6-man thing going on. We're going to focus on each individual person at a time. You'll do this, you'll do that, you'll do this, you'll do that. We'll pace ourselves. We'll get about 3 or 4 minutes in, and then we'll do this. And then about halfway through the match, flip it. Go lucha. Just fucking go bonkers. And that's where it was. If you watch each match, they take their time. There's a lot of wrestling in the beginning. A few spots here and there that might get the crowd up, especially when you include some babyface shine. Right? When you shine that baby face up a little bit, let them do a few cool things. You cut them off. You get that heat. American-style wrestling. But then, once you get about midway through, I started noticing with my wife, about midway through, something happens, and they go, okay, let it go. And they just fucking went nuts. And one thing that I was trying to see if they were going to say on commentary, and I don't think that they did, and I was telling my wife because I started noticing it in the first match and then it became a theme again for the rest of the show. I told my wife, I said, one of the ways that Lucha Libre keeps the speed up in the ring is that they don't really enforce the tag. There's not a lot of tagging in tag team matches in Mexico. That's why when the Lucha Bros came into the States, it was kind of a shell shock for them. They were getting a lot of heat from people because they weren't really tagging. They just kept doing shit, which is what they do in Lucha. So here when they were doing this show, they were being very methodical in the beginning of the matches. So I was like, oh no, we might be saying we're really just seeing Mexican talent in an American system. But as the speed got up, I started noticing they weren't tagging. They were just doing their shit. So I said, so what they're telling these guys is ease them in, get the crowd, and then once you got them, fucking take off and do whatever it is. Because every match got really chaotic toward the end, which is good. But by the time it got there,
it was fun.
It was great. Exactly. I 100%. I'm right there with you. That's why I was saying that this show is so great because I haven't seen Lucha Libre in a while, but it is one of the things that I fell off of it for because it's 8 or 9 matches. It's over the top rope. It's through the ropes. It's the head scissors. It's the arm drag. That's it for 9 matches. And these guys did it here too, but they included all these different things, and it made it a much more interesting match. So I was really, really appreciative of the way they did that. But I just noticed it right off the bat. So I got to...
All right. Let's get to the real conversation here. All right. Not for this dancing around bullshit we're doing right now.
Go ahead. Say the name.
Let's have the real... you know it. You know it's coming.
Say the name. Go ahead.
Mr. Iguana.
The man who has taken over the internet waves.
Dude.
Grab the hearts of the American people.
What are your thoughts? Because I know I'm getting baited into the... I'm the tourist here, right? Like I see the funny, shiny thing. Mm-hmm. You kind of hate this type of shit in wrestling.
I do.
I think.
I do.
So what's your response? What's your response to it? They know what mine is. I'm a tourist. I'm taking pictures.
Right.
I'm like, oh wow, look at that. I've never seen it. But you live here. Right. So what's your take?
I love the way you preface that because that's exactly what the situation is, and I'm going to use your analogy in that right now because it's the perfect analogy. I have to say this, and I have to say this on record on the show. If I say anything different, no, but see, here's the thing. If I say anything different, then it's a hypocritical opinion, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't like Danhausen, if you don't like Orange Cassidy, if you don't like GCW's Invisible Man, if you don't like Kenny Omega and the little girl, there's no way that you're going to enjoy this, right? When I first saw the match announcement that he was going to be in it, I was fucking livid. Because I've seen him before. I know who this guy is. And I know what the gimmick is. And for a split second, I was so fucking mad. I was like, how can WWE, of all places, who discourages gimmicks just like that from happening on their programming, have this guy on their fucking show? It doesn't make sense. But then it kind of did, right? Because here's the thing. He's massively over in Mexico. They love it down there. They love that guy down there. It's not even a question. He's arguably one of their top stars. That's why he was on this pay-per-view. They only brought in the best for this show, right? It's the tourist thing, like you said, right? You hear about it on the TV. You hear about it on the internet, right? It's like living in the Midwest, and you've been seeing pictures. You've been watching NYPD Blue and SVU, and you see New York City, the bright lights and the big skyscrapers, and it looks so wonderful, right? And then you go to New York for the first time, and you're taking photos and selfies, and you're doing TikToks, and you're doing everything. I'm finally in the city. It's great. And then you see the city for what it is, and then you go back home. How many times do you think that person visits New York City after that? Maybe 1 or 2 times. It's the same thing here. Everyone loved the iguana thing because it's the first time they've seen the iguana thing. They're not going to be as impressed by the iguana thing on the 18th time that they've seen it. So I'm not going to sit here and rain on anyone's parade. Enjoy the fucking iguana. If you want to see Lindsay Dorado do a backflip for no fucking reason at all,
bro, he killed that iguana.
He squashed the fuck out of that fucking iguana.
Yo, that was amazing, dude.
And Mr. Iguana, to his credit, sold it when he landed on the fucking guy and all that other stuff.
They all sold it. When the first time when he swept his leg and did the fucking pin with the iguana, count himself, a dude kicked out and it flew against the referee. He caught it and gave it back to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this shit is fire, man. I love it.
And that's the thing.
It just reminded me of wrestling, though. See, that's the thing. You see it all the time. Right. But you cannot deny, back in the day, that shit was fun. That's the wrestling that I remember, watching. WWE, right. Sure. But, the real deal with you with your laptop watching shit from overseas, that's the stuff that I see as old wrestling. So when I see it and it's done well, I'm like, dude, that brings me back, man. That shit is so fun, man. I like it.
But you have to keep something in mind. And I have these internet arguments all the time with people. Well, for instance, that gimmick, Mr. Iguana, right? The one that everyone told me, this was the most common one I heard. That fits right into early 90s wrestling, bro. That's new generation shit. Right? That's what I heard that's what I hear all the time from people. It was like the Plumber and the Bastion Boogers and the Doink the Clowns and that era of wrestling, right? When everyone for some reason had a job. Like when Bob Holly was a race car driver and Erwin R. Shyster was a tax auditor and everybody had fucking work inside of their work. That we had a barber and we had all kinds of shit. Because Mr. Iguana would have fit right in, right? And you know what? When we were kids in the 90s, I loved all those gimmicks. You know why? I was 9. I was 9.
You should be 9 again.
Well, I wish I could be 9 again, but my wife won't fucking let me. Otherwise, I would. No, but see,
you're weak.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why, you know what? I've learned over time. I've learned to take my own advice. It ain't for me.
It's for me.
And I
loved it.
And it's for I'm not even going to say, like, you know how some people say, well, there's always something for somebody. There was more than enough people. There was a ton of people who had a really good time with that match, but then specifically, like, with that character. Yep. So at the end of the day, if you had fun watching it, I'm fine with it. The problem is that you don't. There's a middle ground, right? There's a difference between like Orange Cassidy and then like Jim Cornette, right? Like there's a middle area where like there are people who like it because it's goofy and they like laughing at wrestling. Then there's the other super serious type who are just like, well, I don't want anyone laughing at my industry. You know, it should be done this way. I do think that there's a middle area. I do think, like, if you had a whole roster of Mr. Iguanas, that would be fucking goofy. But
no, of course,
right?
That's what makes him special.
But that's why I didn't like the comparison to the new generation of the early '90s. They did a whole roster of that. That was goofy. That's goofy.
Those are bad examples,
right?
Whack.
But that's what they tie it to, so like
fuck
that.
Those guys.
But as far as like just him with that gimmick. And if you could work things in logic, it's all about how you book that. Now, Mr. Iguana was popular on this one night, but he's not going to Raw or SmackDown. He's going back to AAA. He's going back to their television. So rock it to death down there. They fucking love that shit. Plus, it's Lucha Libre. They've suspended their disbelief fucking decades ago. They don't give a shit about any of the shit that we care about here in the States. If you could finish a match with an arm drag in 2025, there is some shit going on down there. So let him do his fucking thing. And if you want to bring Mr. Iguana will be in the Royal Rumble, I promise you. That's awesome. They're not going to let that shit slip through the cracks. That's going to be a spot somewhere. Someone's taking that fucking Mr. Iguana to the chest. It's just going to happen.
But that's so funny too. Sidebar before we move on. Yeah. Today, I sent a message to somebody at work. There was a patient or whatever that like kept giving us the runaround, and today we actually got the correct information. So I just randomly messaged the one girl who was dealing with it, and I said we got his correct address, and she said, "Oh, I asked so many people," and I'm like, "Yeah, you didn't ask his iguana." That's who gave us the address. I haven't seen it yet. I didn't turn it on yet. I don't know why iguana came into my head, and then I saw that for the first match. I was like, dude, this is meant to be.
Jesus Christ, they're tying it all together. Well, our next match was a women's tag team match. Team Ass versus Team Senior Citizen, I guess, is one or the other. I don't know what was happening with this match. It was 3 people and then Stephanie. I don't understand. Now, I'm not an aficionado on AAA. I'm not trying to be disrespectful either. I know that, and I'm going to fuck these names up because I was trying to tell Steph the names. It was Cheek Tormenta and Dallas. That's going to be the 2 individuals. Dallas was... Because my wife was watching and she goes, whose abuelitas is these? What is happening here? Because Dallas is 50 years old.
That's hilarious because he was actually explaining that like these are the people that kind of like brought them in. He was explaining like, you know, how they're your godmom or something like that.
Madrina.
So with them first.
The madrina, the godmothers.
Yeah. So it's funny she said that.
Yeah, she didn't catch that part. She was coming in and out of the room when she saw that tag match happening. Only in wrestling am I allowed to be watching a match with 2 of the purest, finest Latin asses in the business. And my wife walks in and could not care less what I'm looking at. And I'm watching, and the oddball out in this is Lola Vice. Now, can I just really quickly, with this whole Lola Vice situation, okay? I will admit, I tap out. This is not an argument I'm willing to have. Beautiful fucking woman. Beautiful fucking woman. No doubt about it. But she can't wrestle her way out of a fucking sweater. There is nothing happening there. I've seen her on multiple shows. I've seen her on big events, their PLEs, their pay-per-views, whatever. I've seen her on the NXT show. I don't get the hype other than the body. which I'm starting to get a theme.
I mean, the body's kind of crazy.
The body is fucking ridiculous. But, I mean, we're in a fucking business here. All right?
Yeah. Business loves bodies.
Yeah, but at the end of the, like Punk says, at some point the bell's got to ring. Right? And for someone who has a legit background in MMA, you know how we were saying before about, like, some athletes, like, when we talk about Kurt Angle, how Kurt Angle, like, it was symmetric. Like, he just fit when he came in. It was instant. He just fucking got it. Yeah, that's not this. This is whatever the opposite of that shit is.
Neither was Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I concur. Which is why when she got to the main roster...
What happens?
That's why when she got to the main roster, they said, what the fuck is this shit? What are we supposed to do with this? And so Stephanie had a ladder match later on, and it still didn't deter her. For what it was, it was a 9-minute match. I don't know how impressed you were with it. You can give me your thoughts on this tag.
I got to watch Stephanie. That's all that matters. Can I just say that I hate her fucking name is Stephanie? Like, I just hate that.
Why?
I'm just gonna. What do you mean? Why?
Yeah, what's wrong with Stephanie?
I don't like that.
You don't like the name Stephanie?
Because I don't like the idea of my brain putting hotness with the name Stephanie.
Oh, like the whole sister-in-law thing.
Yeah, no shit. Yes.
Yeah. I'm having a great fucking
Stephanie.
time.
I'm like, yeah, you're in heaven. It puts me in a weird place, and I don't like it.
I don't appreciate that shit.
Dude,
for years people weren't allowed to be Stephanie on WWE due to Stephanie McMahon. This is the first Stephanie in fucking a long time.
Well, I'll tell you what. She's the right one.
Oh, she is the one. Yes,
and
indeed.
she speaks Spanish too. I didn't even know that until
and she's not even
a little bit ago. Like, I thought she was just white, but then she started speaking Spanish, and I'm like, oh, I see.
No, she's not even like your basic brand of Hispanic. She's Chilean.
Oh,
she's from Chile.
Oh my goodness, that's how they making them out there,
bruh. I don't think so. I don't know that. We might have found the exception, not the rule, bro. Because I've been on a few social media posts where other Chileans were like, "We're so proud of you, La Prima," and they get on there, and I'm looking at the photos, the defaults. I'm like, "Yo, you need to put the shadow person back on your default side, for real."
Put the anime picture back up.
What was it? Was it Twitter? What was the site that had the egg? Remember when you first sign up your account, you get a fucking egg? What social media was that?
I don't remember. I don't remember that one.
We need to get Tom back in here to fix this. We need to fix some of these profiles. Tell Elon Musk.
No, it was a match. It was all right. It wasn't nothing crazy. We just got to watch Stephanie wrestle, which is awesome.
That's all that it was.
And do her move. Love her move.
Well, the move. Booker T loves her move too.
The move.
The move. What was they calling it? Devil's Kiss. That's what they were calling
Devil's
it.
Kiss.
Devil's Kiss. Woo. We're back into the 6-man tag worlds. Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto defeating El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. Wagner. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Wouldn't that technically make him Dr. Wagner the Third?
Maybe.
He's the son of Dr. Wagner Jr. So Jr., he's 2. He's the son of that. That's 3. He couldn't just do Dr. Wagner Tres.
Maybe he didn't get the name.
But that's, he's got to earn that shit. Oh, like Ray did.
He didn't get the name because he didn't deserve it.
He's El Hijo.
He found a loophole. Yeah. He found the loophole on how to get the name.
El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, y Psycho Clown. That brings me back to watching those fucking... That's the only wrestling my grandpa would actually sit through, is the Lucha Libre shit. It's the only... I said my grandpa, like I'm talking about myself. He's your grandpa too, but still. That's the only time he would actually let me sit there and fucking watch it. That fake shit. That fake shit. It's fake shit. Son of a bitch. My grandfather was the best. He was a recovering alcoholic that found funny in everything. It doesn't matter how dark that shit was. That motherfucker would laugh at roaches and mice stuck in boxes. He thought that shit was hilarious. Look at you. Fucking stupid. It's a box. I fucking love that guy. Anyway, so this was another 6-man match. This was a little different from the first one. I felt like this one was a little bit more paced than the other ones. But to be fair, the this match had all the veterans in it. So,
Yeah.
by this match, and it didn't dawn on me until Psycho Clown. Was it Psycho? No, it was Pagano. Excuse me. So Pagano had a situation that was a little bit of a fucking clusterfuck somewhere in the middle. And they got it fixed. It didn't deter from the match, but there was a little bit of a miscommunication. And then Steph out of nowhere goes, "Holy shit, that's like the first botch I can remember seeing. I don't think we've seen many botches so far tonight."
Nah, I wouldn't say that. That first match, that dude died. He went out the ring. Homie wasn't even standing up. The dude with the white mask and the white pants. They were supposed to go out, and he never moved. My man did a whole flip out the ring and landed straight on the floor. He touched nobody.
Funny story, she was making food. I don't think she saw that match. So maybe that's why that was the first time.
That's the first match I saw, and I thought my man was dead.
But to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot.
There wasn't.
There wasn't a whole lot.
But that was the first one.
But that was the first one and the one that meant the most.
That one was crazy, bro. I screamed when I saw that shit.
When the first match happened and I saw the AAA stars go over, I knew on the other one the WWE guys were going to go over, and that's exactly what happened. I don't like the fact that it's nitpicking at this point. I didn't like the fatigues. That bothered me a little bit. Because they were like, oh, well, they're wearing the fatigues because they're prepared to go to war. I'm like, this is not one of those shows. This wasn't a blood feud. This wasn't like built. Like, they cut a promo and it was been built for like a week, bro. What's with the fatigues? We did war. Like, y'all just met. Like, it just happening. But
maybe they're always ready for war.
But here's the thing. I didn't know that there was history between the two factions. Apparently, before Santos Escobar left AAA to go to WWE, because Santos was a masked wrestler in Mexico, he lost his mask before going to WWE. He lost it in the ring. He lost it to El Hijo de Wagner Jr. So there's history there.
Oh, so he had smoke.
He had smoke. There was an issue in this match. It was like, hold on. Last time I saw this motherfucker, he took my mask. I got a receipt for his ass. Bring his ass to me. So that's how that. This one was listed at being 15 minutes exactly. 15:00. That's called making your time, bitches. When they said have a 15-minute match, they had a 15-minute match. 15 on the money.
The dot.
On the dot.
I'll tell you what. My point to this match that I stated earlier, about the way they like structured it, the way it felt WWE, but it felt very Hispanic, very Mexican. And LA, now that I think about it, was probably one of the best places to do this because it felt like they were in fucking Mexico. Like I kept thinking they were in Mexico. I'm like, oh, this crowd is insane because they're in Mexico. That makes sense. But I'm like, oh, wait, they're not in Mexico. Holy shit.
So might as well have been
one of the best places to have it. Oh, God, yeah. But, I guess it kind of makes sense because I didn't know he was in AAA before. But, man, this is the best that I've seen Escobar.
Yeah.
He just felt so comfortable. It just looked comfortable.
Because he was in there with people he knew. With his style.
Yeah, but even his promos, like, he's kind of talking the same shit he talks when he's doing the promos in WWE and stuff like that. But I don't know. Again, maybe it's just the chemistry or something. But like, they just looked so good there. And I'm just, the point that I get to is like, I can't wait to see more of this because it's like, I feel like him being on the Spanish speaking show and being able to go full Spanish if he wants to, I feel like he just looks better, feels the product is better when he was just in that element. And that match made me think, man, what if there are just some people like it brought me to like EO. Like, what if there was a show where EO could just go in her native tongue? I'm sure her mic work would be way better.
Yeah.
And she'd look insane. But these guys were so comfortable and able to just go with their native tongue, and they don't have to think about talking, and you can get the real product. And I feel like that's what I got with Escobar here. I felt like he was just not that he has a problem speaking English, but more like him just being so comfortable. It just felt better to watch. He does always look like he's forcing it, or he's a good talker, but it just never really feels good to me.
No.
Here, he was great, and I'm like, man, I not even just them specifically, but it's just so interesting to see. Like, I just want to see more of it.
Yeah. Oh, to your comparison about EO, that would be an interesting idea of WWE doing a show. They have a relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan. Like, if they were to do something similar like this, right, where they did like a joint NXT Pro Wrestling Noah thing, and then like EO Sky got a chance to wrestle on that show.
Oh my god!
I think
and shoot a real promo
in
with
Japanese,
emotion
with
in her
Japanese
native tongue.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about thinking about talking, just being yourself. I feel like it would change the way she looks completely.
It would change
absolutely, 100%.
Our next match is the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page defends against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Rey Fenix. And you would not stop fucking glazing this fucking match. He sent me still shots and video and all kinds of shit. The floor is yours, my guy. Go ahead. Go for it. What was the deal with this 4-way?
I really like this
Is
match.
this your match of the year so far?
We can of the year?
Yeah.
The damn year. I said of the show.
No, but
to be honest with you,
I've never seen you gloat over a match like this in my fucking life.
To be honest, I would have to sit with that, but it's up there. This shit was for a 4-man.
Can you think of a single match that's happened this year that you were more excited
right now? Under pressure, no.
Okay. You might have to be reminded by some things, is what it is.
Yeah. This was just so good. Like, they were just around. Listen. It's very hard for Rey Fenix to do. Like, I just like his product. But everyone else was fucking going. Who was the guy? I'm trying to remember which one. Was it Lard? No, not Lardo Kid.
Laredo.
Who's the one that was wearing the black with the red mask?
Black with the red mask? Rey Fenix?
It has. No. It has to be him.
Not
but
in
anyway,
this
he
match?
was like the bigger guy.
I am so lost in what you're trying to describe to me. Hold on a second, because wait, because you're describing someone who was in this match?
It has to be the Laredo Kid. It has to be him.
I think it was Laredo Kid. Yes.
Yes. He was really impressive. He was just. I felt like he was like a bigger guy. Like, he wasn't really tall, but he was kind of big. But he just moved really good.
When I first met him, he was literally half that size. When he came through the entrance,
he's juicing? He's on the gear?
No, he's not on the fucking gear. There was nothing muscly about that man at all. He's on the tostones and the plátanos diet. He is on the arroz. He's on the chuleta. He's on all the mafongo. He's on all that shit. That's the diet he's on, son. He's not on the juice. Do you know what juice he's on? The mango juice. He's not on any kind of other juice than that. When I met him, bro, he was flaca. He was like thin when I first met him, and I haven't seen him in fucking years, literal years. I was supposed to use him in Red River Pro, and it was a scheduling conflict, so we couldn't use him. But the money was good. But
I was gonna say, is that when he stole your move?
No. That is not when he stole. I can't claim he stole it because I stole.
You can't
because I can't find the footage. I have footage. I just don't know where it is. It's fucking stupid.
Oh, you left it in your other pants?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
It was in another apartment.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I actually never had it. I'm trying to get the guy who recorded it.
Shit was fired.
He's referring to what I refer to as the DDT Destroyer. It's a flipping DDT. He puts him in a DDT position, flips like a destroyer, and the guy sells it with a spike, which I did in the backyard. That's how long ago I did that shit in. But the guy who recorded it, I'm like, yo, do you still have any of that footage? She's like, I think I got it somewhere. And I'm like, bro, please, it's hot right now. Everyone's trying to get on this nigga's dick. I need this. I'm trying to get some likes right now, bro. Please.
You're like, hold on, let me go into my VHS tapes.
No,
I know I got
not
this
even
bitch
the
in here somewhere.
You know how old I am? You know how he recorded it? It was the little mini tapes that you have to put into the big tape to watch. You remember those? Like
dude.
for the hell yeah, it was one of those shits, and he has them. He just couldn't find us. I know they're here, bro. I just don't know where they're at. I'm like, fuck you. If I lose out on this, it's your fucking fault, bro. No, but they're all dope.
That's his move now, man. That shit is
not
fire.
for nothing. He probably has been doing it for a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of talking to you, and Meechin just got a fucking concussion. That's a concussion. She can't see. She could taste colors, and she could see sounds. It's over. It's done.
So Javon Evans is from NXT.
Ooh, that boy bouncy. Yeah, the NXT boy.
That boy good. I gotta watch more of him.
That boy bouncy.
That boy good. That boy good.
He bouncy.
Oh my god. He
needs to add
Cody
muscle.
should stop using the cutter. Just stop doing it.
And just give it to fucking
It's Javon's now. It's Javon. It belongs to. He hit that bitch twice beautifully. Beautifully. Oh my god. And Ray did a good job on the first one. I forget who he hit with the second one. But again, it could be a two-person thing. It kind of has to be. I just don't like. I don't like the way Cody comes off the ropes. He comes off the ropes like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
And I don't like how usually the person that's taking it is standing straight up.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like jump into him.
A lot of guys
super
he does
obvious.
It too. They don't know how to sell that.
This dude was he
it's
was
funny
so high up in the air, and he just went, and he knew Phoenix was just going to be in the right spot.
It's funny because Cody admits to stealing it. He stole that. That's a Will Ospreay move. Will Ospreay,
he needs to give it back. That's the one move I don't like that Cody does. Everything else I'm cool with.
Which is funny because it's
He's
one of
got
the
his
few
style.
flashy things that he does. He doesn't really have anything else flashy.
Then he needs to just not be flashy. It's so bad.
You're too
It
over
really
for
is.
it. That's it.
Nah.
So you did love
But
this
that
match.
boy good.
That boy bouncy guy. I like that guy. He's cool. Ethan Page retains here. I'm not a big Ethan Page guy, but it is.
Nah, he was alright.
He could do.
He kind of bummed me out.
Things. Yeah, he was slowing things down in there.
He was.
Our main event for the AAA Mega Championship, El Hijo de Vikingo against Chad Gable. Okay. There's nothing I can say.
I don't know, like, what is it? Vikingo? I don't know him that well.
Right. Go ahead.
Does he wrestle at this pace when he normally wrestles?
Hell no.
Okay. Then hats off to him.
Yeah.
Because he wrestled a true blue WWE match.
Yes, he did.
And they both made this shit look so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
They paced it perfectly. They did their shit. They worked. They were clean. It felt like I was watching a main event on a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Between these two.
Mm-hmm. At his size, they were able to still make him look, and he did his part, like a fucking world champion. He looked like and performed like a world champion. And there's nothing I can say about this match that I haven't already said about Chad Gable, and particularly in the ring. And I'm done being humble about it. When that match was over, I was in my bedroom. I'm in my computer chair, and my wife was on the bed. My computer chair was near the bed. And when that match was over, I looked right at my wife, and I said, if I am Chad Gable, I roll out of that ring, I walk down the aisle, and I go into the back, and I go right to Triple H's desk, and I smack Triple H's desk. Bam! And I look him right in the face and said, fucking anybody. Anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is. That's what you get every time. Every time. Every fucking time you get that. I could fucking do that with anybody. I'm the fucking best you have. Period. And I just walk off. Because I'm done with it. At this stage in the game, I would love to hear an argument from fucking anybody that can tell me he's not the best wrestler in the fucking world right now.
He's in the He's the best in the business right now. And here's
the
thing.
Right now, he's the best fucking wrestler.
We were supposed to have a 1-year conversation where he got killed, and now we can't talk because he's on a fucking run that we're wasting our time because we're gonna have to update it next week. This dude is working, so we got to figure out when we can talk about this guy.
Yeah.
Every week he's doing something crazy.
I have to do the research on this because I made a claim the other day. My wife was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I think I am. I have to go back, and I want to go back into the books for at least the last year, and I want to mark it down because I think I can make a case that for the first time in history, I think I can prove that not a single, let's say he gets pushed further, because right now he's gangbusters, right? Right now he's almost top of the card right now. I don't think I can name a guy, and I've been watching this my whole life, who has moved up the ladder farther from where he started than him, from a guy who loses every fucking match he's in. He is always losing. This motherfucker rarely ever wins a fucking match to anybody. Low card, mid card, high card. He always loses. And yet, every time he loses, he elevates past the person that fucking beat him. How the fuck does that happen?
I don't know how the fuck he's doing. He has a chip on his shoulder. I want to hear the story. Nothing will make me happier than knowing that at some point he was on the verge of being released.
He needs his own documentary.
That's what
today.
I want to hear. Like, I want to hear that was the case,
that he was
and he just fucking turned it around.
That's it. That is it. He is fucking, and that's not to take anything away from Vikingo, because Vikingo was asked to do.
Viking was phenomenal.
Vikingo was asked to do something that is very, very difficult. They handcuffed him so much in the beginning of this match, but like we said earlier, they wrestled, and then right when there was time to turn the lightning bulb on, he fucking went off. That 360 from the top rope to a bent over Chad Gable. He wasn't even on the fucking floor or table or nothing. He's standing up, and he pulled off a fucking 630. Then
this is like the human Blanca from fucking Street Fighter.
Yeah.
This dude was just spinning, hitting people, dude. That was crazy.
And he said it in the promo. My wife was watching the promo, and she loved it. It was her favorite line. When Vikingo was doing his promo in Spanish, by the way, with the subtitles, he goes, "Chad, you get in the ring and you put on headlocks. I make magic in the air." And I was just like, and that's a beautiful line for him, because that's him. He's an aerialist. He is elite as a high flyer. He is the kind of guy where Rey Mysterio looks at him and goes, "God damn!" Like, oh my God! Like, he's so He's one of the reasons why Vikingo was pushed so hard for the WWE when the AAA package was being considered and all that other stuff. Like, they have so many stars, so many characters. And it's like, but that guy right there, he's fucking special. And they put two special guys in the main event of this pay-per-view, and it was fucking off the hook. Off the hook. That was an amazing. When my wife saw that match, when it was over, she was like, "Holy fuck!" And there's a pay-per-view after this. Good fucking luck.
Yeah.
Good fucking luck.
It was good.
My wife goes, "This whole show for my wife was fucking." This show was so good. Remember, I told you the first match she was cooking, and she was coming in and out of the room, and then eventually, when she came in that last time, she never left. This whole show pulled her in. It was an amazing show. She was just like, Jesus Christ. The show was so good.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
I can give you all the